Hey everybody, this is Kenji again, aka NumotTheNummy here, bringing you my second SOM block draft 8-4. I'm going to jump right in the queue. We have 6 people in it right now. Um, Hopefully we can take this draft down. I know the first one was a little bit janky. The deck was all over the place, but we managed to make the finals. So let's see if we can take this one down here. While we're waiting for the queue, you guys can check out my YouTube page, Facebook user, or not Facebook, sorry, YouTube user NumotTheNummy. Although I assume if you're watching the video, you're already there. The draft has gone up, and we've opened quite a doozy. We have Urabrisk the Hidden. I think that's an automatic slam here. I mean, it does kind of force us into red immediately, but this card is just so strong, giving all your creatures haste, including himself, and making sure all your opponent's creatures enter the battlefield tapped is such a strong ability, and only for 5 mana as well. So, I mean, you play them on turn 5, you get in there for 4, and then every turn after that they're just on the back foot. The only problem with taking this card is we're passing an active aggression. Now, I know the active aggression is usually played in every single deck, but if you're playing active aggression, you usually want to be in red, or else you're taking quite a loss of life when you're paying 4 life and 3 colorless for it. Those are the only 2 cards I would be happy with taking right here. Yeah, they're just the strongest cards. I'm going to take the Urabrisk. And let's see here. We've got past quite a good pack. This Whispering Spectre is quite a strong card in draft. Just with any equipment, if he connects, they're going to be discarding a lot of cards, and that's such a strong ability. Shrine of Loyal Legions I think is one of the best uncommons in the set. I mean, I know there are a lot, but this along with the Red Shrine are just so powerful, and you can play them in any deck. Just every turn, or getting one more, even if you're not in white. I think that's probably going to be the pick here because it is colorless. We're going to jump right to the Porcelain Legionnaire. This is another fine pick. And you could make a case for this against the Shrine of Legions because how aggressive it is, and it comes down to turn 2. This is one of my favorite cards. I'm not going to take it here because I don't want to be forcing myself into red-white immediately. I know it is Phyrexian mana, but the Shrine is just so powerful. The other notable cards would be the Grim Affliction, the Blind Zealot, and the Gliss's Scorn. I'm just going to take the Shrine, though. I think it's the better card overall. We've got a very strong pack here as well. I don't know if you guys have played with the Conversion Chamber at all, but if you haven't, let me tell you right now, this card is actually pretty good. I mean, I know it is a little slow, but if you have any way to proliferate, after you get the first counter, you're getting a 2-mana 3/3 for a while. Beast Within is a great removal card for green, even if it's on one of your own permanents. I mean, as a surprise blocker, it's good there. I don't know if I've told you guys how good or how well Inquisitor Exarch has treated me before. I think I did mention it in my first draft, but this guy is pretty strong, both on offense and defense. Spire Monitor is also really good. I think the card I'm going to take here is Blinding Soul Eater, though. This card just ruins people's days. I know it's an artifact, but for 3 mana it's a 1/3, and you can just tap their boss creature down. So we're going to go with that. Looking here, I think the automatic pick is going to be the Porcelain Legionnaire. Fits well with our Shrine and Blinding Soul Eater because it's in white and it's pretty aggressive. Other notable cards, Suture Priest. This card is a beating. If it comes down to turn 2, you're going to be gaining quite a bit of life, and they're going to be losing quite a bit of life over the next couple turns, assuming they don't get rid of it. Spinethopter is a fine card. I'm not going to take it here over this Porcelain Legionnaire. Thundering Tenedon, same boat. I'm not going to take it over the Porcelain Legionnaire. To note though, Gremlin Mine. I'm a fan of that card. It gets rid of a lot of creatures in the set, especially the Thundering Tenedon. I'm going to take the Porcelain Legionnaire and be happy though. This pack has nothing too good for us. I think the only true options we could take are Conversion Chamber, Mutagenic Growth, or Immolating Soul Eater. Razor Swine's fine in red, which we're hoping to go since we have the Urabrisk, but he is Infect. While he's a really good defensive creature because he has First Strike and Infect, he's not going to really fit into our overall theme because we're going to try to be the aggressor and not the defensive guy. along with that note, as I mentioned before, Conversion Chamber is a little bit slow and more for the controlish type deck, so I'm not going to take that card. I think here I'm going to take the Immolating Soul Eater. It fits well with our red theme and helps with the aggressiveness. This is a pretty decent pack still, not necessarily for our colors. There's a Glissa Scorn, Forced Worship, Victorious Destruction, and Spinebiter. I've seen Slag Fiend being played before. I'm not a big fan. I mean, sure, yeah, it could be big, but the times that just sits in your hand as a 0/0 early and then maybe like a 2/2 for one later, you know, which is fine, but it's not something I'm gonna choose at this point. I think I'm actually gonna go with the Victorious Destruction here. It's removal, it's in red, and it just gets the job done. Force Worship is fine, but we're gonna be the aggressor here and not the control slow deck. I think we're just gonna keep on going with these Immolating Soul Eaters. We're passing a Razor Swine, another good card. Chain's Throat Seeker, fine. Deathhood Cobra is actually a pretty good card. I mean, for 2 mana, a bear with quite useful abilities is, you know, above par. Or I guess they'd say under par. Better than par, I guess. Jeez, I can't even talk. Anyways, hopefully we pass a sweet Infect deck, and so our Immolating Soul Eaters get that much better because we're not too worried about spending life. Here I think I'm going to go with the Gremlin Mine. Or I could also go for the Thundering Tanadon. The Tanadon in our deck would be a 4-mana 5/4. And you know what? Some decks just cannot deal with this. And if they don't, I mean, it's almost an instant win. But the 4 life is pretty detrimental. If they get rid of it right away, you've spent 4 life at a turn playing a card that they got rid of easy with any shatter type effect. Gremlin Mine is the only other card I think I would take, but let's keep going with the aggressive creatures. Nothing really here. I have never really used Insatiable Soul Eater. I'm not a fan of him. 5/1 for 4 is just so brittle. I think the only card that we'd really be playing is the Loxodon Convert. It's got a pretty big attack power, and you know, fits in with the white cards that we've already picked up. So here we could choose another Victorious Destruction or a Flameborn Viron. I think I'm gonna go with the Victorious Destruction. Actually, we can always pick up another big red creature like the Nathasaur in the next pack, but removal is removal. We're gonna stick with that. Maybe we should have gone with the the Viron last pack if we're gonna get another destruction. I can't see myself playing 3 of these. Even 2 is pushing my limits. I think I'm just gonna take the Phyrexian Hulk here. Junk. I guess we'll take the Rage Extractor. I've always wanted to play this card. Paying 4 red to get 7 seems interesting. We're just gonna take the Rage. We're coming down to the bare bones of the packs now. Nothing really. We'll hide other cards. We're probably not gonna play. Probably not gonna play the Hulk actually. Let's get rid of the land. So after the first pack, I'm looking pretty good. I mean, we have quite a few good cards in Shrine of Loyal Legions, Porcelain Legionnaire, Blinding Soul Eater, and Urabrask the Hidden. Those are all really strong cards. Right now we're not really too solid in any color. I think the only color we're actually tied to is red because the Urabrask and the Immolating and the Soul Eater. Or sorry, the double Immolating Soul Eaters. Let's look at pack 2 here. So we have the choice between Blister Stick Shaman, Divine Offering, Peace Strider, and Lumen Grid Gargoyle. Narrowing it down into power level, I think it's either Blister Stick Shaman, Lumen Grid, or Divine. I think we have enough top end because we're going to try to be a fairly aggressive deck, so I think I'm going to rule out the Lumen Grid Gargoyle. I mean, it's a really good card, don't get me wrong, but it costs quite a bit, and I think we're just going to try to kill them before that. I think I'm going to go with the Blister Stick Shaman here. I've mentioned it before, but it takes care of most of the there are so many creatures with 1 toughness in this format that it takes care of those and does a really good job of just providing a little bit more reach. Divine Offering is pretty close. I think I'm just going to take the Blister Stick Shaman here. It's probably not the right call, but I'm a fan of this card. Ooh, now we get past a White Sun Zenith with a pack that has nothing else. So we're obviously just going to take this card here. We could potentially play Signal Pest if it came back around. We have quite a few low drops that are fairly aggressive, so I wouldn't mind seeing this come back around. Other than that, though, I would not really play any of these cards, even if Hexplate Golem came back. It's just too much mana for us, and I think we're trying to be really fast out of the gates. The Zenith is going to provide some nice reach for us, assuming we peter out, because this will give us an out if we keep drawing our land. So that was pick 2. Now pick 3. Not too impressed with this pack here. Decimator Web is a pretty fun card. I'd only really want to use it in poison. I mean, sure, it can mill them out in a few turns, but it's just so slow and it's eating up 4 mana every turn. It's just, I don't think it's something we can take right now. Core Prowler, and again, Infect. Really good Infect cards coming through. I guess Core Prowler's not really good, but Scepter Corrects is pretty good. So the options are between Copper Carapace, Rusted Slasher, and Concussive Bolt. I think the obvious pick is just Rusted Slasher. Concussive Bolt is fine, and we do have quite a few low casting cost artifacts, but I'm not too worried about picking one up right now. The Rusted Slasher fits well into our curve as it is, so I'm just going to take that. So now we have a choice between either Ardent Recruit, Ichor Wellspring, or Concussive Bolt. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I'm not a fan of Choking Fumes. It's fine in a defensive deck. I guess I'd probably play it, but in the type of deck that we're running right now, while it is good against us, it's not good for us. We're not really going to want to be putting -1/-1 counters on their attackers. We're going to be swinging hard at them. Silver Skin Armor, I'm not a fan of. It makes your creature really susceptible to a ton of additional removal that it might not already be susceptible to. Priestess Norn is fine, but again, it's a defensive creature. I think I'm going to take the Ichor Wellspring here. You could probably make an argument between Ichor Wellspring and Concussive Bolt, but having another artifact and allowing us to cycle through to our bigger bombs like White Sun Zenith and Urabrask faster is going to be pretty good. Here, there is either Shimmermere or Orga Resistor. A lot of people don't like this card. I'm actually quite a fan of it. I don't think it's necessarily the most powerful card, but you know what? Just being able to have that fear factor, like passing a turn with Shimmermere out, your opponent is going to second guess everything they do because they're scared of instant Thundering Pteranodons and that type of thing. I think it's close between Orga Resistor and Shimmermere. I'm going to take the Shimmermere here, just because I've had good experiences with it before, and it's rare. Not looking like a good pack for us here. Morbid Plunder is a great card, but obviously I can't take it. Rally the Forces. I've played with this card before in a really low, even a lower curve than this deck. Which is not saying much, but yeah, you need a lot of small creatures that come out fast, which we'd kind of sorry about that. We kind of do have, but I don't think we'll be playing it. I guess we could just take the Priest of Norn here. It's in our colors. I'm not going to play the Gust Skimmer. The Dross Ripper's 3/3 for 4. Yeah, we're just going to take the Dross Ripper. Actually, it might actually make our deck even as a 4-mana 3/3. All right. So we did get an Athosaur. At this point, though, I think I am going to take a Concussive Bolt. I'm probably not going to play one of these Victorious Destructions, and we have a ton of artifacts at this point, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that we're going to play, so Concussive Bolt is probably just going to be an Alpha Strike, assuming we ever play it. I'm going to take probably another Ichor Wellspring. I've played Ardent Recruit many a time in decks that have multiple Master's Calls and stuff like that, but since we don't have any Master's Calls, I don't think I can justify taking it right now. Ichor Wellspring is just going to, once again, cycle us to our bigger things and give us the Metalcraft that we want for our Concussive Bolts and stuff like that. So the option here is between Crush, Flarehusk, and Loxodon Partisan. Partisan's a fine card. I'm not particularly impressed with it. I think I'm going to take the Flarehusk here. I mean, it comes down turn 1, gives you a guy, and then just pumps up your other guys later on. Nothing in this pack. We're obviously not going to play Kemba's Legion. I don't